Hello everyone and welcome to my new channel. This channel will be aiming to help you get those top grades in Math, GCSE and A-level. We might cover similar topics, but each video is tailored for different students. We will cover the trickiest topics that most students find, and we'll do exam-style questions to get you ready for the final exam. Now, today's video is about rationalizing denominators, and we are focusing on GCSE level, okay? Rationalizing denominators, GCSE level. This is a higher tier question because it's a grade 7. It requires lots of working out. So, without further ado, let's begin and let's solve the question. Now, first of all, let's read the question. Express 1 plus square root 5 over 2 plus 5 divided by square root 5. Now, the denominator has surds. Whenever we see surds in denominators, that means we need to rationalize the denominators, which means we want to get rid of the surds because we don't like surds in fractions. Now, this is 2 marks question, as you can see, and we need to aim to spend 2 minutes on this exam, on this question, because in the real exam, each mark you should spend 1 minute on this question. Now, in the form a plus square root b, where both a and b are integers. Now, let's recap some surds rule. We know that square root 5 times square root 5 is 5. Well done. And we know square root 5 add square root 5 is 2 square root 5. Well done. Now, if I have 3 square root 5 minus or subtract 2 square root 5, I'm going to end up with square root 5. 1 square root 5. I don't have to write the 1. We don't write the 1 insert, okay? Now, we recapped the surd rule. So let's begin and solve the this exam question, okay? Now, first of all, how do I eliminate the surds? Now, we need to look carefully at this sign. Let's highlight it in red. We need to look carefully on this sign. This is positive. Now, I want to flip the sign, okay? So I want to make it subtraction or minus. And that's the whole trick in rationalizing the surds. I just flip the sign and times the denominator by the new denominator. You're going to understand what I mean, going to see what I mean. And don't forget that whatever we're multiplying, the numerator, we need to do the same for numerator and denominator because it's a fraction. Now, let's begin. So, 1 plus square root 5 over 2 plus 5 square root 5. Now, multiply 2 minus 5 over square root 5. And we do the same for the numerator. 2 minus 5 over square root 5. And the rest of the question it is just simplifying, okay? Simplification. Now, I times the 2, the 1 by the 2, the 1 by the minus 5 over square root 5, and the square root 5 by the 2, and the square root 5 by the 5 over square root 5. And I do the same for the denominator. Okay, so 2 2 minus 5 over square root 5. What's square root 5 times 2? Yep, it is 2 square root 5. And square root 5 times minus 5 over square root 5 is 5 square root 5 times over square root 5. That's the numerator. Now, denominator, 2 by 2 is 4. Now, the key here, the whole point of this method is to eliminate these two. Okay, we get rid of these because the positive cancel out the negative. So this goes with this. So we say bye-bye to these. Now, final step is multiplying the 5 over square root 5 times the minus 5 over square root 5. Now when I meant these cancel out, I mean when I multiply the 2 by this and this 2 by this fraction. So we don't have to multiply, it's just a waste of time. It's 2 marks question, so we only have 2 minutes. We need to be very quick when solving this question. Now 5 over square root 5 times by 5 over square root 5 is it is minus 25 over, when I said square root 5 times square root 5, we said it is 5, so the answer here is going to be 5. Now further simplify. Now whenever we are simplifying, we add up the numbers that are similar. So this 2, let me highlight it, this 2 by this is simplified, and this is highlighted with this, so these simplify with each other. Okay, so let's get back, continue. 2 plus 2 square root 5 and the negative 5 over square root 5. Don't forget the denominator, square root 5 over 4, take away 25 over 5, which is minus because 4 take away 5 is negative 1 or minus 1. Okay, now further simplify. This is a fraction, this is a fraction, so what do we need to do? We need to multiply this by square root 5. Don't forget to do the same for the numerator. We don't have space, so let's do it next to it. So 2 times square root 5 is 2 2 square root 5. Add 2 square root 5 times square root 5. What did we say? Square root 5 times square root 5 is 5, so it is 2 times 5. Negative 5 negative square root 5 over the whole fraction square root 5 over the minus 1. Now the next step here. 2 square root 5 goes with this, so 2 negative 5 is negative 3 square root 5, and this becomes 10 negative 5 is just 5 over square root 5 divided by minus 1. Now we are dividing by minus 1, meaning all the numbers going to stay the same, but we need to change the signs, so we need to flip the signs. Now this becomes 3 square root 5 minus 5 over square root 5. Is this fraction, is this fraction the same as the form they asked for? No. So that means we need to further rationalize this new fraction. I know it's lots of working, that's why at the start I said it's going to take us a lot of time. So make sure you include each step, okay? Even if you don't need it, even if you know the answer, okay? Even if you know what's, for example, 2 times 5, don't write 10. Make sure you write it step by step. That's what I like to do, because we are, as human, we make mistakes. So in math, okay, especially if you get one sign wrong, the whole equation, the whole answer is going to change and you're going to lose the mark, and it's not worth it. If you know the answer, it's not worth it losing this mark. It could be the difference between grade 7 and grade 8. Now let's further simplify. Times by square root 5 times by square root 5. We did the same. If there is no sign like the positive here, okay, if there is no sign this positive, we don't have to change anything, okay? We just times it, we just multiply it by itself, and we do the same for the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so finally 3 square root 5 times square root 5 is 3 times 5, and 5 times square root 5 is 5 square root 5 over square root 5 times square root 5. We have been saying the whole video, it is just 5. Final answer, simplify. This is 15. 15 divided by 5 is 3. Okay, let's write it there. It is 3. And now minus 5 divided by 5 is minus 1. We don't have to write it. The third is going to stay the same. The final answer is this. This. And thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more videos, and bye.